Welcome to another edition of the Nate Moore Show, brought to you by each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Calix Collins, here of course with Coach Moore. Coach Moore, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Calix. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Coach, your Tigers went on the road last Friday to Glen Oak with a 35-7 win. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. I mean, anytime you get a win, you feel good, but it's more important how you play. And I thought our kids played hard. I thought our level of execution was much better compared to a week ago. I thought we were much better on special teams. And, you know, some of those things have to do with the opponent, but still, I thought we made some good strides.
Okay. On offense, running back Wiltrell Harton rushed for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tell us a little bit about Wiltrell and the job done by your offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, our offensive line played pretty well at times. You know, we popped a couple mid zones, which was good. That's something that's a play that we really need to get going. And Wiltrell's a great running back. He's got great vision. This is really probably his best attribute. Great vision. And he's, you know, he's not the biggest guy. He's certainly not small, but he runs with a lot of power for, you know, being 5'9", you know, 190 pounds. So, and that showed on Friday night. He ran with great vision, hit some great cuts, some amazing cuts, really. Had a couple plays where he really put his shoulder down on the opponent and ran physically. So, you know, really happy with that performance.
Okay. On defense, the Tigers limited Glen Oak to just 137 yards, came up with 4 sacks, and held Glen Oak 0 for 9 on third down conversion attempts. Sounds like a very good night for the defense.
Yeah, I'd say it was a good night for our defense, and I think we got better as the game went on. But I think our defensive line especially really overwhelmed Glen Oak's offensive line. I really expected 6 and the quarterback to pop a couple runs on us, you know, just because of the level of player that they are. And I was really impressed with our front seven that didn't happen at all, minus, you know, a quarterback draw that went for maybe 20. You know, we were able to get to them before they got going, and we tackled really well.
All right. On special teams, your place kicker went 5 for 5 on extra point attempts. How about your team's overall play on special teams?
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to overlook extra points. We missed one of those week 1. So definitely happy with that stat. I thought our kickoff team did a phenomenal job. We made a couple, you know, personnel changes there, and those guys flew down the field. A couple great tackles. You know, a couple times started inside the 25. The opponent started inside the 25 because of our kickoff coverage, and then we were able to snag the one pooch kick, the pooch onside kick. So that was great. And then our kickoff return team continues to be really, really good. So yeah, overall pretty happy.
All right. I often hear that many football coaches say their biggest improvement happens between the first and second game of the season. Is that just coach talk, or do you agree with that thinking?
I don't know that that's necessarily true. Because I think you should be trying to improve every week. I think maybe it's maybe the most noticeable for you know, maybe anybody. You know, maybe it's the most noticeable. I think a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that, you know, week 1 that's your first time out. Like you haven't played a real game. But you know, like I think that we seek to improve as much as we possibly can every single week. And so I don't know if I don't buy into that statement as much as I don't believe in things that I don't want to be. We don't want to sit around and think, okay, let's just improve here or anything like that. We're not, you know, constant improvement all the time, everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the deal for us.
All right. Thanks, Coach. In a moment, we'll talk with the Tiger player. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling. Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Thank you to Reliable Heating and Cooling. Now joining me is junior receiver and defensive back Zach Liebler. Zach, welcome to the show.
I appreciate having me on, Calix. Appreciate it.
All right, so as you were growing up, tell us, when did you start first playing football and who taught you the game?
Well, I'd say I probably first started playing football, like flag football, probably around maybe first grade. And what really kind of got me into it was just watching my older brothers, Nick, and how just competitive they were, and the enjoyableness and all that good stuff. And yeah, it's kind of what just got me going.
Okay. Who is your wide receivers coach, and describe his coaching style for us?
My wide receivers coach is Cale Miller. I'd say he's a great guy. He's a great coach. He cares about the little things. He's on you about stuff, and he expects excellence out of you.
Okay. How about your defensive backs coach?
Oh, Coach Grunder, yeah, he's cool. He's cool. I mean, he's probably one of the more lenient coaches, but he's definitely picky about things and coverages and technique, and yeah, he's a great coach.
All right. So, what skills are essential to be successful at wide receiver and cornerback?
Well, I'd say at wide receiver, a really big thing is you got to be able to catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? A ball's not going to be placed perfect, so you got to have the ability to go out and make that catch. Getting out of your breaks and just feet work's going to be a big thing. And that kind of translates into a defensive back. Being a DB, you got to have good feet work. You got to be able to get in and out of your breaks, and you got to be able to tackle, or you're not going to play.
Did you set any goals for yourself this season?
I mean, no main goals. Just have fun and be the best I can be, and make sure I go out with no regrets as my junior year ends.
Gotcha. And finally, give us a mini scouting report on Mansfield. First, their offense, especially their wideouts, and how about their defense, especially their secondary?
Well, I'll say Mansfield, they got some really good talent. You definitely don't want to sleep on them. They got a couple kids going to Kent State, and receivers, I'd say they're athletic, tall, lengthy. They got good speed on them too. They're a very tough team. They're defensive backs. They're very aggressive. They're violent. They come down. They want to make the play. So it'll be a big challenge for us receivers and all the skill.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Coach Moore will rejoin us soon after we take this timeout on The Nate Moore Show.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
Cut, we got it.
And for every moment like this, there's a crew of people using STEM to bring the dead to life.
We had 30 minutes to make one of Norman Reedus' outfits of 7 years old. When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that could be walked through in a VR headset. It looked like you were actually standing in the room.
There's so much technology involved in directing. We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker horde.
That idea became this design, which turned into this set, and that costume worn by that walker who was having a really bad day. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Welcome back to The Nate Moore Show. All right, Coach Moore. We just heard from junior wide receiver and defensive back Zach Liebler. Tell us more about Zach and his contribution to this year's team.
First of all, Zach's a captain, voted by his teammates, and I think that was a great vote by the guys. He's done a great job as a leader. The first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that you've got everything in line yourself. And Zach's a first guy in, last guy out type of guy. Works as hard as anybody, cares about it as much as anybody. He's vocal when he needs to be vocal. He's not scared to speak up. And he brings a certain level of passion that I don't know that not everybody possesses, but it's, not everybody shows it. But like you watch Zach. I mean, you watch Zach in pregame. Like Zach's ready to go. Zach's as ready to go as anybody. Yeah, I mean, he had a phenomenal preseason, phenomenal off season, well put together, and he's playing really well for us on the outside. He's a physical kid. I think about this past week that, when you play corner, oftentimes nobody really notices you until something bad happens. And, so like if you think back and you can't really remember anything with your corner, that means they probably played pretty good. But I definitely remember the tackle for loss of the screen. We had a 6-man pressure call with our 3 hot coverage, as you know. And tailback screen, so it should be the perfect call. And the one nice thing about 3 hot is you do get eyes in the backfield versus man, as you know. And Zach comes out of his third, reads it right away, sees the ball thrown to the running back, beats the block, and from a deep third corner position makes a tackle for loss on the screen against number 6, who we all think is a really good player. So. I think that guy's, he checks a lot of boxes.
Okay. Before we talk about this week's opponent, can you give us an update on both the freshman and junior varsity teams?
Sure. So our freshman team is 1-1. They traveled down to Cincinnati to play Moeller week 1. And a great game where they led for a lot of the game and ended up losing. Moeller scored late in the game, and we had the ball with a chance to win from about the plus 30. Time runs out, and we lose 19-14. But the kids played really hard. Really impressed with that group. And they came out last week, and the final score of the game is 38-0. The game got called, I think, right before halftime, and the refs didn't call it. The Glen Oak coaches. They said they didn't want any more, so that's not great on their part. But our kids came out and they just hit, and obviously performed well too with 38 points and 0 for Glen Oak. But our kids just came out and hit, and so feel great about that class. Those guys are doing a great job, and our JVs. They opened up at home against St. Ignatius week 1 and had a 13-7 win there. And then those guys played Glen Oak this past Saturday and won 48-2. So feel really good about the up-and-comers.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the Mansfield TY Tigers, who are back on the schedule this year. We've faced Mansfield many times in the past. Tell us a little bit about the rivalry over the years.
Well, it's the 4th most played game in our history. This will be the 53rd meeting between Mansfield and Massillon on the football field. The game was last played in 2003, so it's been about 19 years since we played this game. It was first played in 1909. Right, you know who the head coach was back then?
Paul Brown.
Hap Fugate was the head coach. He's on the wall downstairs. Check it out.
Is it really?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, sweet.
But so 1909, so over 100 years ago, when this game was first played. So there's a lot of history here between our two towns, and they've got a phenomenal stadium. As you know, we've been over there several times at playoffs, Arlen Field. This is a rivalry renewed, and we should all be really excited to go over there.
Okay. What can you tell us about this year's Mansfield team?
I think they got a really good team. They've got a great size. The offensive line is huge. They got several skill players with great size. The Sam linebacker goes 6'5", 225. The 2 inside linebackers are 240 and 215. So they've got great size, and they're really good at the skill positions, especially the defensive backs and the receivers. I think they got a couple kids that are really good. Number 8's really good. The safety and receiver, number 19, the corner with the Kentucky offer, he's really good. So they're a really good team. They're 2-0. We're not. So we better have our butts ready to go.
All right. And are there any standout players that you and your staff have identified to watch?
I really like number 8. I think he's a great safety. I think he's a great receiver. He's the number one target. The quarterback flashes. He could have a great night. I really like the right tackle. I think he's a Division I kid. The right guard is huge and physical. Their left end on defense, number 32, makes a lot of plays with the ball away. He's got a really quick get off, compact but strong. Both inside linebackers are good players. Both corners are really good. They're a fine football team.
All right. We want to thank Coach Moore and junior wide receiver and defensive back Zach Liebler for joining us on the Nate Moore Show. The Nate Moore Show is brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling all season long. I'm your host, Kalis Collins, and as always, go Tigers.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Hi again, and welcome to another edition of Swing featuring Tiger Swing Band Director Jason Neel. We're on the air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Swing is brought to you this season by Johnny's Music Shop. I'm your host Dave Sheets, and with me is Mr. Neel. Jason, Neel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
This past Friday night, the Swing Band was busy performing at the Glen Oak game. Tell us more about that performance.
Well, it was nice to have a road game. It's always fun to take the show on the road, so to speak. I think the kids enjoy a little bit of the pressure being off of not having to do a new show, having to do pregame, postgame, all the stuff that we do with the home game, and just really enjoy the atmosphere of playing in the stands the whole game, and just supporting the team throughout the game, and then obviously we repeated our first show for halftime, and I was really pleased with the performance of the kids. It's a tough field to play on at Glen Oak. The stands are very far from the field. Mm-hmm. There's a very large track, and the sound doesn't always carry very well, but I thought our sound carried as well as it ever has off that field. So I thought the kids really made an improvement in their sound from week 1 to week 2, and some of our marching's coming along as well. And like I said, we're a young band, but I'm seeing signs of improvement. So I thought it was a good performance, and we had a good night. It was always good to get the win as well.
Right. Beautiful weather, too.
It was wonderful.
So typically, what does the schedule look like for the band as soon as the school day ends when you're traveling for an away game?
Well, that usually depends on how far we'll have to go. Somewhere like Glen Oak that wasn't too far, we were able to push our run through back to about 3:30. Mm-hmm. So some kids are able to go home and come back in that time from 2:05 to 3:30. Some stuck around and brought everything they needed for the day. But once the run through happens, then we'll load our equipment, and we actually fed them dinner at the armory before we got on the buses and got in uniform, and so we were pulling out about 5:15. So we're pretty packed in there from 3:30 to 5:15. This week when we go to Mansfield, it's a little farther, so our run through will be a little earlier, and we're doing some boxed dinners for the buses on the way there. So yeah, so it depends where we're going, but it's pretty tight, and lots of things to do and make sure that we're ready for the game.
So besides the transportation for the students, you also have a large truck that goes with you for every performance away from home. Mm-hmm. Who's responsible for that vehicle, and tell us more about that?
Well, we're very fortunate to have a truck like that that's ours, and it's painted, and it's Massillon Tiger Swing Band on the side. Mm-hmm. Greatest show in high school football. But our band boosters actually own that truck and are responsible for the upkeep and the maintenance and the tags on it and everything like that. And then they find somebody to drive that truck each performance. And it's usually a band parent who is licensed to do that and helps us out. Will drive that truck for us. Every once in a while, Mr. Nussbaum will drive that for us. Our percussion instructor, he enjoys that, but. And I look to Mr. Nussbaum to really oversee the unloading and loading process of getting the instruments on and off that quickly. Mm-hmm. When we get to and from a performance. So between the boosters and Chris Nussbaum, they're overseeing that truck, and it's a great luxury to have it.
We'll have more with Mr. Neel here on Swing, but first this word from Johnny's Music Shop.
Johnny's Music Shop at 2492 Lincoln Way East welcomes you to come and be a part of our musical family. Come check out our drum section for sticks, heads, and percussion accessories fit for the garage or any school band. If you're looking for new or used guitars, come play a while, or come grab a cable, some picks, or your favorite set of strings. We also stock the school band books, as well as preferred name brand reeds, stands, cleaning kits, oil, and other accessories for the band. We are very proud to offer name brand band instrument rentals with absolutely no credit check required. All repairs are professionally done in-house on everything from guitars to brass and woodwinds. We're happy to be here for you at Johnny's Music Shop for any stage in life.
Thank you, Johnny's Music Shop, and welcome back to Swing. Your band boosters play a major role in supporting the band program, just like we talked about in the first segment of the show today. How is that organization structured, and in what ways do they help out your program?
Well, I'll tell you what, we could not do what we do if it wasn't for the volunteering and the hard work of all our band parents, especially our officers and our committee chair people. This year, Rachel Kennan is our president, and we have a slate of officers that help her out. For many years now, we've had Bill and Ellen Joseph run our uniform committee. So just things like that we're relying on, like feeding the band. Mm-hmm. They take care of that. They take care of running our concession stands during the game and the 50-50 and just the fundraisers. And we have, secretaries who call all those volunteers each week, Shannon Rohr and Jen Comparda, Amy Ross, Valerie Grissack. I'm probably forgetting somebody. You put me on the spot here, but just these people who do so much for us that help the kids out, raising funds, providing, especially, the food and the instruments and the uniforms and just everything that the group does to get a band on the field and keep us on the field. We could not do this without them. So big thank you to our band boosters. And I hope I answered your question there.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, the Swing Band has numerous fundraisers, as you talked about, going on throughout the year. Is there anything right now that we can share with the audience that the band is involved with?
Well, right now, you know, our Tiger Band review is coming up on September 17th, and we view that as a fundraiser. You know, obviously supporting the concession stands at the games is helpful to the band. We're looking to be selling, hopefully soon, our pepperoni rollers that we've done in the past. We're in process of hoping to get another mattress sale happening here in the coming months. And that hasn't happened since before COVID, so we're excited to possibly bring that back. And right now we have a new fundraiser going on right now. It's like an apparel online shop where people can go and order t-shirts and merchandise and things like that. So we've never tried that before, and that's currently going on. So if anybody's interested, that would be tigerswingband.com and our Facebook page. There's some links to go to our online store right now.
And finally, for this week's show, tell us about the halftime show you have planned at Mansfield when the Tigers take on the TY Tigers this Friday night.
Well, we have another luxury here at the beginning of the season to have another away game. We're going to repeat our swing show around the world, which again was April in Paris, American Patrol, and A Night in Tunisia. Great swing songs. And then while we've been having these 2 weeks of repeated shows, we've been able to get ahead for the grind that's coming at the end of the season, which, you know, when we come back week 4, we're home for the rest of the regular season. So right now we're working on show 2, 3, and 4 to get ahead of the curve as we're moving forward. So one more week of a repeated show, and then you're going to see some new stuff pretty much through the end of the season.
And with the swing band, the tradition is every home game is a new show. Have you ever had a stretch of what will be 7 straight home performances in your time here?
Actually, we have.
Have you?
Yeah, Massillon is unique like that. We don't have the 5 home, 5 away,
right.
and so some years we've had the 6, 7, 8, and I think I remember a year where we had a 7 in a row.
Yeah.
I know we've had 6, but we'll see. And you know, one of those games is our JV showcase, and we're gonna do a kind of a best of the year as we get ready to go to the Ohio State show. We'll talk more about that in October, but we're planning on 6 different shows this year to kind of make that stretch happen.
Sounds good. Thanks for your time today.
Absolutely.
That will do it for this edition of Swing here on WHS-TV, brought to you each week by Johnny's Music Shop. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, along with Mr. Neel. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Our family relies on the internet every day. We both work from home at times, so our Wi-Fi has to be fast and reliable. We learn with it, laugh with it, and count on it for lots of devices in our home.
Your family depends on quality internet and Wi-Fi. That's why MCTV provides internet speeds and whole home Wi-Fi to keep you close to what matters most. To learn more about our internet and Wi-Fi options, visit mctvohio.com.